Time is running out to get your real ID. The deadline is May 7th. And if you're planning on traveling the country by plane this year, you'll need it. You'll also want to have it if you're trying to enter a federal building like a courthouse.
So what do you need? How do you get it? Attorney Amy Feldman, always good to see you. Happy New Year to you, my friend.
Happy New Year.
I feel like we've been talking about this, though, for years. It keeps getting delayed.
Well, it's funny that you say that. This bill that requires it was originally passed in 2005, which I hate to tell you was 20 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
2005. And to your point, it keeps getting delayed. But it is here now.
Why? Why was it always delayed?
You know, there were a lot of things that kept pushing it back, mostly the disorganization of the states to whom it falls to actually get their driver's license centers up to speed on this, to be able to have the infrastructure. And then, of course, COVID, it set everything back, but it's here.
So let's refresh people then, since we've been talking about this so long and it keeps getting pushed back. What is a real ID and why are they trying to have this happen?
Right. So what you saw in that picture was the star on your license.
We have a side-by-side, too, what your driver's license looks like now versus what it will look like for the real ID for Pennsylvania folks.
Oh, you see that little star?
And that's the only difference, right?
That's it. And what a hassle it is to have to get that little star. It's like a, right?
It's
up
right
in the right corner.
corner. Top one.
That's it. That's how they know it's a real ID.
And what's the purpose?
So the purpose is to prove that it is really you. You know, unlike the days when some of us, not to incriminate myself, had the fake IDs, this is a lot harder because now you actually have to go to the centers that do the real ID and you have to present a lot of actual identification so that you can prove it's you. And in order to, as you said, Alex, get on a domestic flight, to get on an international flight, you still need a passport. But on a domestic flight or some federal buildings or a military base, you will need to have a real ID.
So what do you have to, well, first of all, where do you go and what do you have to bring with you?
Okay, so you need to go to one of the centers. In Pennsylvania, it's the PennDOT Drivers Center, but not all of them. So look it up online to make sure that you are going to the right place.
Can you just walk in?
You can in Pennsylvania. In New Jersey, you need to make an appointment, so it's confusing.
At the DMV?
At the DMV, correct.
And walk in is probably, you know, you got to walk in, get a number, wait. You know how the DMVs
we'll get back to you in 2.5 hours.
Right. I will tell you that it can be up to several hours of wait, speaking from experience in Pennsylvania.
Especially as we get closer to the deadline,
Boy, oh boy, I'm sure you're right about that. And then you need to present certain forms of identification, and you have to bring them with you. The first thing is you need to prove your identity. You need either a certified copy of a birth certificate with that raised seal. I have a friend who got a photocopy from her parents who sent it, and it was she was turned away because it didn't have the raised seal, or a valid, unexpired passport. That's the first thing.
So no copies, okay.
No copies. You need the originals. Okay. And then the second thing that you need is proof of Social Security. Okay. So you can either have your Social Security card in your current legal name that has to be an exact match, say, to your passport. I got turned away because mine didn't have that. One had a middle initial, one had the middle name, so they have to match. Or the other thing that you can bring is a W-2, a pay stub, 1099 if it's for you, but only if those show all 9 digits of your Social Security number.
What if someone's watching this like, oh, well, I have my driver's license. Why can't I just renew or click something to get it moved over?
You can. One other thing, just to tell people, it's not just the proof of ID and proof of Social Security. You also need to have a proof of your address. And it can be a current driver's license, Pennsylvania vehicle ID, auto insurance, utility bill, or a W-2, as long as it has your full address. But you need 2 of these.
Oh, wow.
You need to have 2 forms. So this is not easy to get. Now,
so 2 of what's listed on the screen.
2 of that, right?
Okay.
Now, to be clear, as you just asked, Alex, you don't have to get this. Your driver's license, even without the real ID, will still work as a driver's license. It'll still work just as a regular proof of ID, say for those of us young enough to still get carded in bars. It's stop laughing.
Happens all the time.
You still need to have, you can still use that.
You just can't fly.
You can't fly without a passport. Now, if you have a passport, you can still do it on domestic flights, but in case, you know, you're used to just walking in, or if you don't have a passport, this is easier in some ways. It is easier to go and get this.
But even if you have, because when I had to switch over to Pennsylvania driver's license, I had to do all this just to get my ID. I'm saying, if you already have your driver's license, do you still have to go and bring all your stuff and start over?
So, you know, that's a great question, because it seems to suggest online, if you go to the Pennsylvania DOT website, what you'll see is it says, well, you can, you know, do it electronically.
Right.
You can pre-authorize electronically, but you can't just get a Real ID unless they have seen physical proof.
Wow.
So if you've already presented that and they have it on file, then yes,
When
you
in
can just
doubt,
do it that
just
way.
bring it with you. Bring
Oh,
everything,
and be
yeah.
prepared
And then
to
you have
wait.
to get blood as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hair sample, nail sample.
Oh, but here's the thing. Do you have to retake your picture? Because that is always.
I know. I'm always worried about it. I did because
Okay.
my license was
Because
expired.
sometimes, like, can we just keep the old picture? I don't want to keep it.
Exactly.
Can you bring your own, like if you went to Glamour Shots?
Yes.
And got it, can you bring your?
I'm not sure about that. That would
Here,
be
just
great.
use this
yeah.
one.
Those blurry photos from the mall.
Because I think everyone can relate to having a bad driver's license photo, and every time you pull it out, you're
For
like, okay,
all
I was
those
having it.
I went to the
Yes.
one in Turnersville. They let me take my picture 27 times. But it wasn't me.
That's so nice of
They
them.
didn't like the picture.
Oh.
Yeah, they had, they're like, oh, we watch you on Good Day. But they're like, nah, that's not a good one. Nah, that's not a good one. So afterwards, I'm like, just use any of them.
But that's
Thanks for
great.
looking
That's
out for me.
awesome.
I've
Yeah.
asked for another
I
photo, and
know,
they were like,
and
no, honey,
and they
sorry.
give you
got
attitude.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, there was
Right.
there was
They're like,
no
you
one
look
in there,
like-
so I think they were bored
This
that
is
day.
you, right?
me, yeah, they were
I
like,
said,
that's what
right,
you look
this
like,
makes me
honey,
look
sorry.
old, and they said it's not the picture. I know. It's terrible.
Take the picture and move on.
Thank you.
Amy, always good to see you.
Great
Amy
to see